One of the most common questions I get is this: hey Coach Day, should I be adding weight? And if not, should I be increasing my sets or my reps week to week? And the last one is like, why don't I already have this built into a program that's already designed for me? If there was only a solution. I'm being stupid. But if you feel like you're stuck choosing between these options, then congratulations, this video is for you. Because your progress shouldn't be random, it shouldn't feel random, and it shouldn't solely be tied down to if we're adding weight every single week. It's a factor, but it's not the only one. But let's get to the root of the actual problem. And it's that most people approach progression with the mindset that it only counts if the load goes up every week or if my reps are going up. Even if their reps are slowing down and their form degrades and the recovery is lacking far behind what they are actually able to do in the gym, they're just trying to force more weight in the bar and thinking, hey, it's going to build the most amount of muscle possible. That is a faulty way to look at progression. You're chasing numbers at that point. And I get it, ego, but real progression isn't about increasing just weight. It's about increasing stimulus without exceeding your body's ability to recover from said stimulus. And this is where the holy grail of undulating periodization changed the game for me in my training. And I want to share that with y'all. Let me put this in layman's terms, right? So let's say we have a A-B week kind of structure when it comes to training. In our A week, our major priority is going to be intensity. You can use load. This is where adding weight makes the most amount of sense, but only under these conditions. You're hitting your target reps with clean technique, mind you, and you have at least one rep left in reserve after completing your total working sets. If your bar speed is consistent, also your joints feel relatively good and solid during this training phase, then hey, that's your green light to add more load to the bar. You're not going to impede anything ideally. But if you're grinding reps, you're cutting the range of motion, or you're relying more on momentum and it just doesn't feel good, then weight is probably the wrong progression tool to utilize right here. In those cases, you should be progressing by improving your movement execution, not just general load on the bar. Now let's take another account. Look at our B week, where our priority now is volume and movement quality. This is where adding reps or sets is more appropriate. Now, if the same weight feels smoother, you're recovering faster in between your sets, and your soreness isn't taking you out, it's not really carrying over in between your training sessions, then adding a rep or two or increasing the total set volume is going to be the proper progression strategy here. And the idea is to do this without spiking your fatigue through the roof. Now, caveat for some movements, especially like your single joint movements, like your bicep curls, your leg extensions, this is going to be the primary thing you should be doing to increase progression. Like, you should be focused mainly on your volume, not inherently load for those. Now, here's the key rule that most missed out in this. Adding weight when strength is no longer the limiting factor, or adding reps when control is improving, and adding sets when recovery allows for more work. Each of those creates a different type of stress or stimulus, and that's intentional, mind you. Undulating programming works because it respects the fact that your body's not primed for all of that all at once. We have things that we're more akin or tuned to. Your nervous system might be more rested and recovered than your joints, and that means that your training is going to look different week to week. And some weeks, like I said, your CNS, your central nervous system, is ready and peak performance and power output. Other weeks, your joints and connective tissue are going to need a break, and that's where we implement more volume and control or set rep counts to still make progress during those weeks. Now, in this, progress still happens. This just happens without digging you into a recovery hole that you'll have to inevitably climb yourself out, because the stress doesn't happen in a vacuum. But here are the long-term benefits that I want to hammer home with you. Alternating between an A and a B week should reduce your risk of injury. It'll improve the skill and efficient quality from these movement patterns and make strength gains more repeatable without that risk of injury, because you're not testing your strength every single week, you're building on it. So if you've been stuck thinking that progress only counts if the bar is getting heavier, we need to reframe our entire thought process around this. The goal shouldn't be to lift the most amount of weight today. The goal should be to get strong and healthy and progress over the next 6, 8, 10, 12 months. That's how we're going to build on top of this thing. That's how you're going to get to your overall goals. You're going to stay in the game long enough, because availability is the best ability. And this is going to bring intent and context behind your progressions and allow you to work with your body and not against it. Now, if you want help setting up this exact system the exact way that I do, click the link below. I'll see you guys in the next video.